Hi, I thought I'd do a quick video about digging holes. Now, you might think, well, that's not very interesting or important, and you just grab a spade and get in there. Well, actually, after doing a bit of research, it's not the most efficient approach, and with this project I have to dig about 17 holes in total. That's about 5 or 6 for the for the fence posts, and then another 12 or so for the piers and footings. So I did a bit of research, and I looked at what people are suggesting online and doing professionally. One option was to get like a petrol earth auger. Now this seems great, power tool, right? You're thinking this must be the best way. But the problem I have is I've got very heavy clay soil. Now this can easily clog an earth auger and cause problems. So we want to avoid that kind of work, and so it wasn't worth investing in either hiring or buying a cheap one on eBay. So I picked up these 3 tools. Now these 3 tools we've got here, we've got a tile spade, we've got a post hole digger, and we've got a digging bar. These I picked up on Amazon for about £75 in total, and they've allowed me to work pretty efficiently to get holes dug. And I'll talk a bit more about technique later on once we've had a look at these tools. So the first tool I like to talk about is this tile spade. Now you can see it's not your typical spade. It's quite narrow. It's also quite long. And the narrow tip actually makes it quite sharp. It allows you to put a lot of pressure into the ground, so it cuts through things like clay, which we have quite heavy clay here, quite easily. It's also very straight, so it allows you to go right down the sides of the holes, because you want to keep them vertical. You don't want to be pulling it out. The next tool is this post hole digger. So now this has got quite a long handle, you see that there, and then it's got these 2 blades on the end, and they hinge together to grab the soil. So this is good for pulling soil out of the hole once it's been loosened. Now I see a lot of people online making reviews saying, this thing's rubbish for digging holes, I can't get into the ground. Well, it's not designed for that. It's designed for pulling the dirt out of the hole once it's been loosened. And it can be loosened either with the spade, you knock it into the hole from the side, or you can use this. Now this is a digging bar. It's got its little protective cap on, but it has a kind of, it's not a sharp, but it does have a bladed end. And this thing is about 180 centimeters long, so 6 feet, and you've got an end on it there. And what this is really good for is actually just breaking up the soil at the bottom of the hole. Now I found this quite useful for when the spade isn't quite reaching, it's a bit difficult to get in without disturbing the sides. This thing allows you to really break up the clay at the base of the hole, and then you can pull it out with the post hole digger. Now another great little tip I picked up online is to actually mark the post hole digger with graduations along it that allows you to quickly estimate how deep your hole is. So this means you don't have to keep pulling out your tape measure all the time, and getting down on your hands and knees trying to get the depth, but it gives you a very quick gauge. So I've done it both sides, you can see. You can just quickly pop a bit of wood across your hole and get a reading on how deep it is. So you can see here I've marked out the hole where it's going to be, just roughly with some paint. So I've marked a 30 centimeter square again, and put a cross through the middle where I want the hole to be, and so I'll start digging, and that will be my reference point to start with. Right, so there we go. In about 10 to 15 minutes we've got a hole down to, well, 40 centimetres for this, because I need the extra height for the gravel board, and it's pretty straight, pretty neat hole I think, well, in my eyes anyway. Probably got a different opinion, but there we go. So pretty efficient. That ground's pretty hard going. You can see down the side bits of rock, brick, all sorts. Then we get down into this hard clay. There's no way you'd be able to do this with a petrol auger or anything like that. It'd really be hard work. But with the right tools and a bit of muscle, you can get where you need to go.